Hey friends, welcome back. In this video, I am sharing another fun release from Simon Says Stamp. They did send this over for me to create with so I can inspire you. And I'm excited about this one because I get to color and I love a stamp set when I get to color. So I am going to create a fun Mother's Day card with this, and I'm going to bring in another item from their release. Let me show you real quick. They also released this beautiful set, and this is called Inside Greetings. So you can put these on the inside of your card, but I also like them for the outside of my cards as well. And I'll share a couple other cards that I created. So I did create this beautiful shaker card, and I used the "You Are in My Thoughts" sentiment. And they also had this butterfly die that is part of their new release that I used to create the shaker. But let me show you that because it looks a little different and you can do other things with it. Come here. Okay, so this is the die. It's really neat because it's a layer die, but I decided just to use the outline of the butterfly. Oops, I have some paper still in there. And I created the little shaker opening because I wanted to do something a little bit different. So you can do the layers so that you can layer your paper, layer some colors. It's so pretty. So these are other items from their release, this beautiful exquisite butterfly, and then the Inside Greetings. Real quick before I start on this stamp, I want to share another card that I did. This is a cute and fun, simple card. I also used the "We Are Holding Space for You" sentiment, and another new item from Simon Says Stamp is this little duck trio. So other fun cards, other ways that you can use these sentiments, and I'll link all of those items from the release down below for you. I did not receive everything, so be sure to check out their entire release over on their website so you can see other things that were just put on their site to shop. So let's go ahead and start with this. Because I am going to color with Copics, the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to stamp these out so that the ink has time to dry and then I can color without it smudging. So what I want to do here is I'm going to do a little trio because I'm going to do a little kind of window card that I think will be really neat. So I'll show you that in a minute, but I want to get these drying. So the three that I want to do, I definitely want to do this cutie that's holding the bundle of flowers, and I'm going to spread them out because I'm going to need some space for them for the rest of the card. Okay, I'm going to do the bouquet as well. And what's the last one I want to do? I think I'm just going to do this little cutie. Yeah, nice and simple. Okay, so let's grab that. And then the sentiments for this stamp set, you don't need to use it for Mother's Day, but you certainly can. Our Happy Mother's Day, You Are Wonderful, which You Are Wonderful can be used for anything. I Love You a Bunch can be used for anything, and With Love can be used with anything. So I love that. Okay, let's scoot this one down. Okay, should be good. Actually, I'm gonna switch these because I just want more space. There we go. Okay. So these are brand new right out of the packaging, so I will condition the stamp just so that it's prepped for that first stamp. It kind of helps to remove any coating that was placed on there when they were making the stamp. But if you forget to do it, it doesn't matter. You're going to be fine. Just kind of ensures that first stamp looks really nice. But I always double stamp anyway, so I could probably skip it. Okay. Here is the first stamp. Okay, and let's do one more time so we have a lot of nice contrast. Okay, they are so cute. I love a cute little stamp set. Okay, I love how that looks. So, done with our ink. I simply use a little mild baby wipe, although I did get a new little stamp chamois. I need to bring that out so that I can kind of use that to do some spot cleaning as well. All right, let's let that dry. I will pick out my Copic colors, and then we need to create our little window. In fact, why don't we do that first? Because I want to decide on what I'm gonna do. I think I want to do white cardstock so that the icon, well, hold on. Okay, I can't decide if I want to do a pink cardstock or a white cardstock. The pink could be really neat. I think I'm gonna go with the, ooh. Well, let's do white first. I can always switch it around if I want to. But let's go ahead. I kind of mapped out what I wanted to do before I started today. So I have these 3 circle dies. What I want to do is, and we have small, medium, and large there. I want to do something like this. In fact, I could even use that cardstock and not waste it, can't I? Because I'm just gonna cut those out and they're gonna go bye-bye. Okay, did I trim this down already though? I don't think I did, but I'll check after. So let's run this through. I'm gonna place the tape on the inside of my die because the inside of my die is what I'm going to discard. So if it rips for some reason, then I am not ripping an area that is on my final card panel. Okay, then I'm also going to place a piece of cardstock on top of this piece of cardstock because I am going to run this through my die cut machine that has plates that are pretty gunky at this point. And if I put a little barrier between my plates and this cardstock, then I won't have any cut marks go into my paper or make any impressions. Okay, so that should be good. So I'm grabbing my larger die cut machine because of the size of my cardstock here. Okay, and then again, I'm going to place just a piece of plain cardstock over this piece because this is my final panel. So I don't want that to get all gunky. See how I have impressions and cut marks in here? Those transfer over to cardstock, and usually it doesn't matter because I am cutting out, say, images like this where the rest is just going to be discarded. But when I want a final piece of cardstock that's smooth, I just grab cardstock to protect it. Okay, let's move all this out of the way. It's going to stick there. Okay, now I have this piece. So my little circles just pop out here. I've got a little bit on the outside, but just be careful. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be my final panel. I think white will be kind of neat, but we'll see. Okay, and then what I plan to do is color these and then have these poke through. We'll just have like a little peekaboo window card. All right, let's get some markers. First thing that I want to decide is whether I want to do gray bunny or a brown bunny. Both would be so cute. I'm kind of thinking brown, but let me do all of my flower colors first. So I think what I'll start with is V01 and V000. We'll do a lavender. I'm also going to do R21, R30 for my pink, and I'm gonna do an orange. So for my orange, I will do YROO, and yeah, I'm gonna have that be really light. So YR000. Okay, and that ends up kind of being more of a sherbet color, which I really like. So we'll do that. For the cheeks, I'll bring in, you know what, I'll use the R21 for that. For green, I'm going to do YG61. And I think I might use that on its own. I could also bring the G20 in just to see if I like that. And then I think that might be it. So now maybe I should color all my flowers first and then decide what I want to do for the bunnies. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is focus, I think I'll focus on this little bouquet up here. And then I'm gonna bring all of these colors down into these images. I like to have everything be super consistent so I don't overcomplicate it with my coloring. So I think I will do purple, purple, pink, pink, orange. That sounds good to me. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my lighter purple, which is this V000, and as always, I think I've already forgotten what my plan was. As always, I will put the color numbers listed below in the description box. So this is my lighter shade. I'm gonna do an all over color first. There. Okay, and I'm going to do them one by one just so that my ink doesn't dry too much. And then I'll go in with my darker and I'm going to go right along some of the sides here. Oops, I got that one a little bit much on that tiny little petal, that's okay. And then with my lighter shade, I'm going to go back and just blend out. Just ever so slightly like that. Okay. Got a little whoopsie on that top one, but it's gonna be fine. And then I'm just going to repeat that with the other one. So I think this is gonna be what I said. Pardon me if I changed the plan. It's not me changing my mind, it's probably me completely forgetting what I said. But it will turn out. It will be what it's meant to be. Okay, lighter shade. And I keep it so simple with my coloring, it's not even funny. Like, I just have fun with it. Okay, darker shade. And blend. Okay, so there are my purples. While I'm here, I know I'll do the same down here. So I'm going to, I'll do this middle one with that color combo. Okay, there we go. So we can put these two away. And let's move on to the pink. Also, I'm gonna bring in my gel pen so I don't forget to add some accents in a little while. I'm thinking I'm gonna lean toward a brown bunny. It's just, I don't know, kind of my first thought. All right, so let's do R30 for the lighter shade. I have to think through here. I think this is a leaf up here. So is it all gonna be a leaf in the back? Okay, let's do all over color here. And R21 will be my darker. So I'll do here, here, and there. And sorry, I get so quiet when I'm coloring, so I'm sorry about that, but it gets like super relaxing for me as well, and so I kind of tone out. Okay, do the same for, I think I was gonna do down here for the other pink one. I'm trying to make sure I am differentiating which petals go to which flower here. Okay. And there we go. And I can always use my gel pen because I, most of the time, accidentally sneak out of the lines. But it's so easy to fix that I just don't even worry about it anymore. Okay, I like that. There's our pinks. I'm gonna put the R30 away. Actually, you know what? I need to keep these to the side because I think I'll probably make this little one pink too. But I'm gonna wait on that just because I'm not certain. Okay, then YR000. Okay, for this little one. And then this will just be kind of more of a sherbet looking orange. Kind of looks a little beige, but it'll be super pretty. I like a muted orange. Anything more than that, and I'm not a fan. Actually, though, I might bring in my YR02 just to bring in a little bit more of that orange color. Just a peek. There we go. And then I'll feather that out with the YR00. There we go. Brighten that up a little bit. I like that. And we'll feather it down with our lightest. Feather it down. Okay, cute. Now, I'm definitely done with my oranges. Oh, no, I'm not. I gotta bring it all the way down here. Okay, now I gotta remember all these orders. I did a little 3-color blend there. Okay, so now, loving those, I'm going to bring in and just add a little bit on my pinks, just because that color combination is so similar. I'm just gonna feather in a little bit more shadow. Just like that, nothing too bold, but just to give a little bit more contrast between my lights and darks there. Okay, doesn't take much, but it makes a difference. Okay, so, well, I was looking at those. I think I'm gonna try a 1-color combo with this YG61. Oh yeah, that'll be pretty. Let's see. Ooh, could be pretty together though. Let's do it together. So we'll do G20. And where do I want to start here? I think it's going to be all over in here. Yeah, I think all of this is green. Because I'm not seeing any ear behind there, so I think that's all supposed to be some greenery. Okay, and there's really no right or wrong with coloring. You just make up your own rules and see what looks great. Okay, YG61. This is actually a newer color to me that I added to my collection. Ooh, yeah, this is going to be really pretty with the G20. Okay, sometimes it's a guessing game on what my color combinations are going to look like, and just kind of make it up as I go, but then I have kind of tried and true combinations that I stick with after I play around with it. I might even bump up that darker green too, just a bit more. Maybe I'll let that dry. Ooh, I like it. And then I'm going to add some more, but I want that color to sit on the top, that darker color to sit on the top more and not blend into the back. So I'm gonna let that dry for a bit. Okay, then we have all over color on these green leaves. And again, I think all of this is all over color back here. I'm just surrounded by this greenery, all these leaves going up in the back to make this nice full bouquet. Okay, and then I'll use my darker green on the stems just so that those stick out really nice. I think this is probably green too. Okay. I'm just going to fill this in as well. Okay, and then again my darker green. On the stems, the way they are nice and bold. Or not bold, but they stick out against the lighter green. Okay. All right, and then since this down here has dried, I will come back and again just kind of bump that up a tad so that green stays more on the surface there. Gives it more dimension. All right, let me start my shading up here, and then we'll just blend out. And with this single color, I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of shadow in there just for some depth, but I'm not gonna go overboard. Okay, again, saving this just for a minute so I can add that later. And I think, oh gosh, I just don't know, guys. What I'll do is, let me bring in the color combos that I'm thinking. I'm thinking of an E31 and an E30 for the bunny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those combos next to them just to see if I'm liking that, and I like that. It just helps to see kind of near. Another one that I'm thinking for the gray, I think it would be C00 and C1, which is extremely light. Ooh, it's actually not too light. I don't know, we just have such warm tones going on that I feel like this gray is too cool. So I'm gonna go with the brown. Okay, so I think we've given this enough time to dry. So let's finish this up so we can get our green put away. Just by bumping up these shadows. And now that we've decided, let's go, I think we can go back down here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go here because then it'll allow this just to dry just a little bit more. So because there's no fresh ink on this one to the left, we will start there. Okay, and I don't think I'm gonna do anything different really than, well, I could leave the chest a little bit white and the tail for sure. Let's just start and see. So I'm gonna do my lighter color first, and then I'll bring that pink back in for the flower. I could leave this little area up there white. That would be kind of cute, just to give some dimension. I also want to bring some pink in here, down below there, where that ear kind of has an opening. I don't think the other one has that. The ear's open on this side for this image, so we can do that. And then this little fluffy chest we'll leave white. Bring some pink in for that nose in a minute. Okay. Yeah, I like this color. I think it keeps the image and the whole feel of the tone just nice and warm. Okay, and then again, this little outside of the ear, but we'll bring some pink in for that inside. Okay, that looks good. Now, E31. This is just going to be a nice light brown combo. Okay, I'm just adding a little touch of gray to these white areas. That way it's just not so stark white there. It just adds a little something you probably can't even notice on camera, but it makes it look like I didn't forget about it, right? That, oh, she forgot to color that part. No, I didn't forget. I just want that to be a white. So it kind of softens it from just being regular paper. Okay, let's bring in our nose here, that pink. And we'll do some cheeks. And I'll do the other in a minute. I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit so those cheeks don't sink too much in. You know, I should have done a different color than the pink because I should have done purple because I already have the pink on the ears. That's okay. If you do this, do this little part purple. I think that would be super cute. Okay, and then I'll do maybe towards the base, I'm just gonna add some color there, just like that, and I'm gonna leave it. Let me bring in a yellow. I'm gonna do YR21, and we'll add that to the middle of that flower in just a moment. Okay, let's finish this one up. In real time, I am at 36 minutes, so this is going to be a little bit of a longer card. It's gonna be so cute. Okay, love that. Now, while I wait for that to dry, let me do my little accents. So I'm just gonna take a number 10 jelly roll pen, and I'm gonna add some accents to my coloring. Some areas it'll be a little hard to see, some it'll stick out, but in person you can definitely tell, and it just adds some fun. I'm gonna actually just go along the shadow for the leaves, just so you notice it, even though you wouldn't have a highlight over a shadow, but honestly it's just about making this fun. So okay, and start down here. Okay, and then on my bunny, I have to do it upside down. Let's do something like that. Add some little dots there. You see that? Just barely. It's pretty light. That's why I kind of like to just go in the little shadow areas, even though, again, it's not technically correct, but it's sure cute. Looks good. Oops, I just smudged that one off. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go around any area that I got out of the lines, and I'm going to color that back with the white. And it makes really quick work of mending those areas. Okay, I think that's pretty good, at least in the obvious places. So that's good. Now, oh, those look so cute. So cute. And then I'm gonna add that little, oh, don't shake your hand, Bethany. I'll add that little yellow, which I probably could have put pink because that's barely recognizable. Okay, there we go. That's looking so good. Okay, oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. So now what I want to do is I'm going to trim these apart, and we're going to figure out where they're all going to go. So we'll do this. Is that right? Yeah, I hope so. Is that right? Hopefully I didn't cut that off too short. I might have just done that. Oh no, it'll work. We'll make it work. Oh, weird. Well, we're gonna make it work. Yeah, no, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. Nobody panic. Okay. Maybe I'll hold off on doing all the other ones. Oh no, you know what I was gonna do? Oh no, I was doing that right. Okay, and then this bigger one, or the medium one, I was gonna have something like that. And I don't want to have them centered. I want to, even though I love the little tail and everything, I want to have it kind of being more like it's the little guy's peeking out. Even though I love those tails, but we'll get a little bit of the tail there. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I am going to do this like, let's trim these apart. I'm going to add foam. Oh, hold on. Are these the same? Are these trimmed down? Okay, I want to make sure. Oh, okay, so do I want that trimmed down though? Maybe I'll have this be the same size. No, I'm not going to trim it down. I'm going to have it be the same size as my card base, and I think that'll be super cute. Okay, but I am going to have it. I need to decide if I want this to be popped up or if I want it to be flush. I'm going to have it popped up. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to add foam squares around my openings, and then we'll attach them. We'll kind of hover over and attach them. Let's zoom this out a little bit. Okay. So this is going to seem a little bit much with the foam tape, but that's how I'm going to get it to work. I saw the stamp set, and last night I was like, what do I want to do with that? Because I don't have the coordinating dies, so I know I want to do something that I don't have to fussy cut, because I do not fussy cut. I know many of you do and are good at it, but that is not my strength. It never looks right to me. So if I don't have the dies, I'm always trying to figure out how to do a design without cutting, and I thought this would be super cute. Okay, so I'm going to take all of these off. Then I'm going to go just like this because I want to trim off this side so it's nice and straight. So that looks good to me. We'll do that. Okay, and then of course I'm gonna have a little adhesive back there. Come here. Okay, just get rid of that. Then I can come through and just trim this down. Actually, let me grab some fine detail scissors. Just trim this. So there's where we're at so far. Then the other ones are going to be easy because this first one is where it's going to start overlapping. Now it doesn't matter if they overlap. This little cutie is going to go up here. Oh, you know what I need to do? No, I wanted to do my sentiment on here. Hold on. Oh, darn. I really wanted to do that sentiment. I was going to stamp a sentiment right there, but now I'm not going to because I don't want to ruin everything and I can't get this positioned in my MISTI. So we will pivot and do something else. I knew I was going to forget that. I should have wrote a sticky note. Okay, let's do the next one. No problem. Just change the idea. It'll all work out. I'll probably like it even more. And these are the same height as the larger ones, so I can use the larger ones as well. That's not going to help. Okay, so then again, I'll flip this over and decide there. And I like the breathing room of that white space up there. I think that's really cute. Okay, so, and don't worry, it's all gonna look really good in the end. I promise. You're like, I'm done with this video. It's gonna work out. Okay. Let's do some of these big ones to make quicker work here. And there we go. Okay, now, oh, it's so sticky. I'm just going to cut off these extra parts. Okay. That. Okay, see how nice and straight that is? I love it. Because I did the white on white, which I really like because then the color really pops, but you can do whatever you wish. Because I did the white on white, it was even more important that I did the foam, because then do you see how it gives that shadow so that you can really see just some dimension there. I love that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I know, you're like, Bethany, why? I'm just gonna build up these extra areas so that we can plop this on a card base now. So what I'll do is, honestly, I think all of these are gonna stick just fine, but I can add, just a little bit. Just a little adhesive here as well, so that it goes nice on our card base. Okay, taking these off, and we'll just set this to the side. we're not going to see our card base really much at all because I did my panel the same size, but I'm going to make a A2 card that's top folding. So I have 11 by 4 1/4, and I placed my score line right at 5 1/2. And I'm going to use my score buddy just to line this up. So I'm going to place it right there, make sure that my card is going in the right direction. Place that in the corner and place it down. Okay, so now there is my card. All right, now originally, darn, I'm so bummed, but it'll be okay. I was actually gonna grab a sentiment from this. I wanted to do the "You Are Loved" just so simply there, but I cannot do that. Okay, and I'm not gonna ruin all of that work by trying to figure out the sentiment at the end. So let me see what's in my stash. I actually really like this Hugs because, ooh, this is gonna be pretty. I like the Hugs because look how cute. We're kind of clutching that. Oh, that's gonna be cute. Yep, it'll work. She's kind of clutching that little bouquet. And there was a, maybe we could put one of those. I think it said, "I love you a bunch." Oh, that was what the stamp set had said. I love you a bunch. Cute. Okay, I'm gonna keep this extremely simple because it's just our final little look here. But I will do a white with a gold script. We'll do gold glitter. And that'll look gorgeous. And I don't know that I'll do really much layering here. Usually I kind of build up and glue a couple layers, but I might keep this really simple at this point and just do one. But let me see how it looks before I decide. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna use this little scrap piece that I have, and I just can't. I gotta layer it up just a little bit. I'll use this little scrap and glue it to the back just to give a little boost of dimension on that Hugs. Okay, adding glue to the back of my glittered piece. I'm gonna tap it off just a little bit where I got some bigger pieces. That way it doesn't go over the edge. I'm gonna add it to that little scrap piece. And just grab your scraps because they're a great way to use those just to build dimension. You don't have to use fresh cardstock. I need to be better about keeping those little swatches that I make and just using them for the back of other things. Okay, and then we'll just put this on the shadow layer. Okay, there we go. Very pretty. So simple but pretty. And I am simply going to glue that. You can do more foam if you'd like, just to build up more dimension, but I kind of want to keep the dimension focused on those, you know, at least the shadows are part of this. I want to keep the shadows more focused on the windows. Okay, I'm going to sneak a foam square. Oh, I like that. I'm going to sneak a foam square, let's bring that down a bit, under that S. That way it can rest. Whoops. There we go. And I'm going to break the rule of odd numbers because sometimes rules are called to be broken, and I'm going to do a little duo on each side for my little embellishments. I'm going to do a dewdrop so that we don't take away from our pretty gold glitter. That way we have just a little texture and fun, but it doesn't draw the eye away. Just kind of acts as a little supporting actor here. All right, final card. I love this. And again, you can use the included stamp set if you wanted to make this a Mother's Day card. I love that this can be used for anything. It could be like an encouragement card, or I'm thinking of you, especially because this little one is just looking like it just wants to give a hug, hugging those flowers. Love that. And then of course these sentiments, it says they are inside sentiments. So you can add anything to the inside as well. These are going to be really fun. I have certain areas that I put certain things. I have a envelope that I keep things that I will use over and over again, just so I'm not constantly searching for them in my other spaces. And this is something that's going to go over there because it's going to be something that's going to be very nice to grab for inside cards. All right, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Final time is 1 hour. I'm at 59:50. So 1 hour, if you were to do the stamp sentiment, that would shave off at least 6 or 7 minutes. So go ahead and approach this any way you want, but I love how that turned out and it's so cute. All right, everyone, see you next time. Be sure to check out the source list to see everything I used to put this together down below, and you can click on the title of the video to access that. I'll see you in the next video.